Hey, what's up guys? Matt here with Fix Anything Save Money. Today we are going to be covering how to figure out the pitch of your roof. Now, you may be wondering why you need to know this, and if you're going to be doing, if you have an upcoming roofing project coming up, knowing the pitch of your roof is a pretty important step for ordering materials if you're doing a full roof replacement and you want to price out materials, or if you're just curious for some reason. But the most common reason would be for ordering materials. So let's say you want to do a full roof replacement and you're going to order shingles off Home Depot. It's going to ask you for the square footage of your roof. So you might be tempted just to go right onto Google Earth and measure out. There's a little measure feature on Google Earth. You can measure out those distances, but those distances are going to be horizontal distances. So it's going to be less than what it actually is. So slope distance is always greater than horizontal distance. And I could kind of just give you a quick little demonstration on that. So you can see here, we have our whiteboard that I have kind of just set up at a pitch to simulate, if we were up on the roof. I just didn't want to do it on my roof because it's windy out and you probably wouldn't be able to hear it. So let's just prove that the slope distance is greater real quick. So you can see here, the length of this whiteboard is 31 inches, okay? Now if we were to measure the horizontal distance from here, from the tip right here, over straight down to where it was flat, we could just do that really quick. Let me see if I could kind of make it clear. So we just measured it as 31 on the slope. And you could see here, if we go right against the wall, the whiteboard isn't right against the wall, but like right here would be the edge of the whiteboard, dropped down, and we're at about 28 inches. So, you're pretty much a 3-inch difference between the horizontal and the slope distance. So that's just something to keep in mind. Slope distance is always more than horizontal distance. So if you were just pulling measurements off of Google Earth, and then getting the square footage that way, you're going to be short in materials when you go to actually buy them. So, if you're ordering something that's, not in stock at your local Home Depot, and, it's pretty important to order the right amount so you're not waiting on more materials halfway through your project. Okay, so now that we proved that slope distance is greater than horizontal distance, we're going to go ahead and show you how to actually get the pitch. And to do that, we're just going to take a level. I've got a 2-foot Stanley level here. All we're going to need is a foot of it. So if you have a 1-foot level, that'll work perfect. I just had a 2-foot laying around, so we're going to be measuring to this 0 tick mark because that would be a foot over to here. So literally all we're going to do is we're going to set our level up like this, and you don't want it too wonky. If you're on your roof, you want it pretty much pointing straight down your roof, and you want to bring it up to level like that. You don't, like I said, you don't want it too far that way or that way. You want it straight down and level like that. And it might be beneficial if you have 2 people, but then you're just going to take your tape measure and just kind of reel out, a foot or so. Get it up on there like this. Level it up. And then you want to bring your tape over to your 12-inch, or on this it just says 0, but it's a foot of level that's touching the roof, and then measure to the bottom of the level, and you could see it's at the 6. So this simulated roof would be a 6/12 pitch. So all that means is there's 6 inches of rise for every foot or every 12 inches of run. So it's just the rise over the run. That's how you calculate the pitch. And the way you say it is 6/12. So if you took this measurement and it was from here up to here, it was 8, let's say, it would be an 8/12 pitch. And now we'll cut the video. I'm going to put up a table for the conversion for that, and we'll bring you back and you'll be able to see that. And then I'll show you how to actually calculate out the square footage a lot more accurately than just doing it on Google Earth. Okay guys, so let's say we just got off our roof. We figured out what the pitch was, and like I said, going off of our example when the whiteboard was kind of tilted at an angle to simulate a roof, let's say we came up with 6/12. So we know our pitch is 612. Now what I did is I just drew, let's say we were looking at our house on Google Earth, and this is what it looked like overhead. I just drew a nice easy example. We have our roof right here, and it measures 50 by 50. So let's just say it's a perfect square. It's never gonna be like that, but let's just say we have a 50 by 50 roof. So if we were just to come up with the square footage from Google Earth, we would measure each side, say, okay, one side's 50, the other side's 50. All you would do to get the horizontal square footage, which you're not gonna want if you're ordering materials, but if you wanted to get it, you would just multiply 50 by 50, and you would get 2,500 square feet. But if we're ordering materials and we want to know the actual square footage of our roof, so we were the sloped actual square footage at a 612 pitch that we determined. Now your number is going to be different probably, whatever number you come up with. I have this table here, so you could either pause the video, write these things down, or take a screenshot or something so you have these numbers. So we know ours is 6/12. We have a 612 pitch. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our horizontal square footage of 2,500 feet, and what we're going to do is multiply that by the 612 pitch. So we're going to multiply that by 1.118, and then we're going to come up with our actual square footage of 2,795. Now the only thing I want to just let you guys know about, your pitches might be different on your roof. Let's say, there was an addition that got put on coming off of the back end of your house. That addition is going to have a different pitch. So therefore it's going to be a different sloped square footage, let's call it. So you're going to have to take those factors into account as well. So this is just kind of a easy, pretty accurate way if you don't want to get up on your roof and actually, if you just want to hop up there, get your pitch, and you don't want to actually pull tape, because you will, if you pull tape to every area, like from here to here on your peak, and then from here to here on your peak, from here to here on your peak, if you pull all those measurements, you're going to be pulling the slope distance, and it's going to give you the correct square footage. But if you want to just figure out the pitch quick, hop up on a ladder, figure out the pitch quick, and then go on Google Earth and pull your distances that way, that's probably the easiest way to do it. And then what I recommend is, if you're ordering materials, let's say you came up with 2,795, it's always better just to order more, especially if it's not readily available, because you could always return it. But if you order too little and then you go to buy more, it could take a week to ship to you. And if you're in the middle of a project, a week is forever if you're in the middle of something. So I recommend just still, even when you come up with your final number, order more. And then if you're on like the Home Depot or Lowe's app, they even calculate in, I think it's like a 10% overage for waste. So I would plug that number in, let them calculate out, whatever extra it's going to be for the waste, and then just order that many, or maybe even whatever, a bundle or two more, an extra roll of felt paper or something, because like I said, you could always return it. So just to recap, we have our pitch, which we determine on the roof. Then we have our multiplier corresponding to each pitch. So you can see here, when you start to get onto steeper areas of your roof, you're multiplying your square footage, your horizontal square footage, by quite a bit here, like 1.5 times. So that's going to make a huge difference in the materials you're ordering. So just be aware of that. So yeah, guys, let me know if you have any questions at all. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Otherwise, if this video helped you out, be sure to give it a like, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Check out all my other tool and DIY videos. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.